Ball so hard, hobby jackers wanna find me. Got my Asics in Paris, and we going gorillas. Ha! Bang! We have the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. You know, every summer when 4th of July rolls around, I always want to put on Watch the Throne. I want to put on Otis. I want to listen to Murder to Excellence. That album just always reminds me of summer because it came out on July 4th, and the video for Otis, that's one of my favorite music videos of all time when they're chopping up the Maybach. But with the 10, 11 years that have put distance between then and now, and the antics that some of the artists associated with that song have done, can we still listen to that? That's the debate, right? Can we still enjoy the art separated from the artist? It's hard. Graduation, probably my favorite rap album of all time. That was one of the first physical albums I bought. I had that CD. I still own the purple bear square poster. I own that somewhere. Anyway, today we are getting some more miles in the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. If you're looking for a new race shoe or any type of shoe, make sure you're on the Supwell app. It's my app. It's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. Also, this month, or May, next month, we're running our second community challenge. It's called Run Some Dang Hills. I got a ton of elevation gain on my run today, and it's gonna be all about stacking mileage, stacking elevation gain, getting stronger. I'm programming a workout each week. It's gonna be a really fun time. So if you're interested in getting some training, if you're interested in joining the community, also if you're in Europe or Australia or India or Argentina or the Philippines, and you've been on the fence about joining the community because you're not sure if the app is going to be for you because the marketplace is mostly US, join for this month because the $30, it will get you the shirt, it will get you the stickers. Yes, I'm shipping all those international included in the $30. So if you want to put me out of business, just get a bunch of your friends in Australia to sign up because the shipping there is dang near $40 for anything. So it's a good chance to sign up. It's a good chance to join and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Link is in the description below. Enjoy today's video. Perfect bagel. That is absolutely perfectly toasted. Look at that. Bang. 4:59 a.m. That is bagel time. Bro, we are cooking today. A lot of people don't know this, but I used to have problems toasting bagels. Not anymore. We're back up. We're back outside. We're actually inside, putting in the work with the bagels. I'm going to butter this up, by the way. This is fire, vegan butter right here, Miyoko's. I'm going to butter this up. Then we're going to get the long run in this morning. Oh, that was my alarm. It's going off in my headphones. Yeah, Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. It's going to be a banger. One of the fastest shoes out there. And bagels, coincidentally, one of the best breakfasts out there. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna butter this. See you in a bit. Bang. Finished breakfast. But you know what? I think I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to go get the shoe and talk about the shoe yet because it is so rare these days that I can just sit in the morning and enjoy my coffee like this. It's quiet. I'm listening to music. I'm relaxed, thinking about the day. Do you hear that beeping, by the way? It's the dishwasher. We need to get our cast iron pipes replaced. It was my biggest nightmare. Moving into this house, 1977 house. But it's a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be, thankfully. Yeah, I'm going to finish my coffee here and then we can go. Music this morning. I have to give you the music this morning. Belly Gang Cushington. Fire. If you're a rap fan, check out this album. It's called The Streets Is Yours, Straight Flames. Alright, my album is done. I have no excuse to be sitting here. It is nice though. Yeah, every single morning throughout the week, it's just madness rushing around, right? It's nice to have one relaxed moment of the entire week. That's why I love these Sunday long runs, and why when I can wake up at 4:30 a.m. Today I actually woke up at 4:40. I slept for 10 more minutes, but when I can wake up early, it's so nice because then I have this moment before everything starts. All right, let's go talk about the shoe. I'm drowning in shoes, bro. Everywhere I go, there's shoes. There's shoes in front of the camera. There's shoes beside me. It's a sea of shoes here. And then we also have the Great Wall of shoes. Can you see the Great Wall of shoes? Look at this. It's the Twin Towers of shoes, because we have this one and then we have that one. But the difference is these ain't going down. These bad boys are staying up forever. Bang. And then we have the river of carbon right there. And then over here, we got even more. And yeah, we got some hobby jugger hats left, but don't let anybody see. Oh, and that's the secret merch coming soon. It's a lot of shoes. All right, these are the shoes for today. All right, so these are my shoes for this morning. This is what I'm going to do my long run in. 20-mile long run, Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. And some days, here's the thing. I just want to run in some shoes that I enjoy, or in some shoes that are good for the type of run I'm doing. This morning, 20-mile long run. We'll do some pace pickups in there. I was thinking of doing mile repeats at however fast I can take them. And I don't know if there's going to be a hot take on the Metaspeed Sky Paris. I know everyone comes around. People want to see the hot takes. People like me for my takes. On Instagram, they want to see the takes. On YouTube, they want to see the takes. But not every day do I want to put the takes out. And I'm more than a nice pair of takes. I was telling Charlie this last night. These guys only want me for my takes. So yeah. Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. If you do want to hear a hot take, I'll give you a gosh dang hot take on this. If you want to hear a hot take. Because I know that's what you came for. This is the fastest marathon shoe on the market. Not only is it my opinion, it is validated by the data. So I did an efficiency test. I compared this to the Vaporfly 4, the Adios Pro 4. This is the Vaporfly 4 right here. And just look at this. In this colorway, this just looks like a lukewarm glass of milk compared to the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. This has got to be one of the worst race shoe colorways out there. It just looks so bland, white and navy. Ugh. Anyway, and they say I'm a Nike fanboy. I do like Nike, but you know what else I like more? Just bangers. Yeah, fastest race shoe on the market. You get this wide carbon fiber plate up at the forefoot. Look at that, it's poking out. It's poking out just like my takes. Poking out from the side here. Super wide. It's great for push and power. It's up closer to the foot here. And then nice curve. So it's the combination of the width of the plate at the front. And then this scoop down, this curve with having it be up near the forefoot. Which makes it good for push and power here. And this foam is also tuned to be firmer. It's not a super soft, squishy foam like we see in a lot of the race shoes on the market today, which if you ever watch this channel, you know that drives me insane. Adios Pro 4, too soft. Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, too soft. Even the Vaporfly 4, it's actually not too soft. Vaporfly 4, I have to give it to them. That's not too soft, but a lot of these shoes are getting too soft. And I've heard in the, what are they calling it? The Sky Tokyo. You think they're going to do a Sky Chicago? I don't think so. I think it's going to be, because they did, this is Sky Paris, and then they're doing Sky Tokyo.
I was talking to Charlie about this last night too, and she said they'll probably do Sky Berlin next. And I said, yeah, I agree. There's no way they're going to do Sky Boston, Sky New York, Sky Chicago. They don't love America like that. Just kidding. Yeah, the Sky Paris here with the firmer foam, this FF Turbo Plus, and it's actually broken in over the mileage that we've put on it. So this might be over 100 miles this morning. Now I'll have to check my good old Strava on that, but this has gotten more comfortable as it's broken in. I've also gotten used to it more, just more confident running it. I ran into the 249 last year in it about a year ago. Well, exactly a year ago at this point, maybe 54 weeks ago, because I was in April. And I did not love it for this back half of the race. I did feel it was very fast, but you don't always want a fast shoe for the marathon. So over the past year, I've gotten to like it more as I've developed as a runner. I now like the aggression. Now, the difference between this and a lot of the marathon shoes out there is super narrow, man. So they've stripped down all the weight. It reminded me of the Streakfly too. Reminded me of a 5K version of this. There's not a lot of extra on the Sky Paris, which is not the same that you could say about something like the Alphafly. You get a lot of cushion here. You get a lot of width. It just feels like a more stacked shoe. The Sky Paris feels like a very low to the ground shoe, which even comes through in the stack testing. Let's do a stack measurement now that we're up almost near 100 miles. They don't love me for my science. I already know that. You don't love me for my science. You don't care if we do the stackerator. You just want to see my takes. You just want to see my takes. I'll give you some takes. I'll pull the takes out today. Look at this. That's crazy, bro. 35.8. So under 36 millimeters on the right side. For some context here, the typical race shoe, the median in my size, fresh out of the box, is going to be right on that 40 millimeter mark, maybe just above at 41. So with 100, almost 100 or 80 miles of use here, is down at 35.8, which is just wild. Let's check another shoe with very comparable mileage and see how it's comparing here. Another one of my favorite race shoes, Cloudboom Strike. This is all the way on the opposite end of the spectrum, though. This is soft, bouncy, not aggressive, but it can run fast. Awesome shoe for long runs. Yeah, look at that. 42.4 in the back. Let's get the other side of the Metaspeed Sky Paris here. Dang, what the heck? 34.8. That's low. That is low, yeah. 34.8. So 80 something miles in here, just about. And we're down at... That's crazy. We're down at 35 millimeters. But yeah, some final thoughts on this before we lace it up and go out there. This is the best out of these lightweight racing shoes. It's under 200 grams in my size. The package comes together the best. They've gone all in on the aggression where a lot of the other shoes falter, like the Adios Pro 4, like the Nike Vaporfly 4, is they have the lightweight, or they have some elements of aggression, but then it doesn't come together in a cohesive way. With this, it's lightweight, but then the foam is soft, and the rocker isn't aggressive, and the plate does not work well. The plate is just flat in here, and it doesn't feel that it's adding anything to the ride experience. The plate position is perfect in the Sky Paris. And on the Adios Pro 4, for me, this guy is just too much soft cushion. I even just look at it compared to the Sky Paris visually, you can see there's a lot more stack. And if you watch me squish this thing in here, this is not the type of experience I want on a race shoe. Now, a lot of people do like this, and some people like that soft cushion. I despise it. I do not want to feel that my heel is sinking down into the ground when I'm running marathon pace. It is fast, and this is why I called it a hot mess. The front of it is fast, and I was fairly efficient in it, but the feel of it is just squishy and mushy. Now, one of the shoes that does do a good job rivaling the Sky Paris is this guy here, the Puma, not the Sky, this guy. This guy. If you're ever with someone, they say, oh, look at the Sky. Say, which guy? It's a good dad joke. Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. My favorite shoe for marathon style training right now. The thing is, it has a softer feeling foam than the Sky Paris. It also feels bouncier, and it feels like it's more about the foam here than the aggression of the plate. So slightly softer cushion, slightly more comfort oriented, and then more aggressive and faster in the Sky Paris. The way I would think about deciding between these two shoes, by the way, is if you want more of a cushioned feel in the forefoot, Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. If you want overall more cushion feel, it's the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. This is the best shoe for most people right now. It does feel, it's firmer than the Vaporfly. It's firmer than the Saucony and the Adidas, but it's not an actively firm shoe, and it doesn't feel super harsh and aggressive. The Sky Paris can feel harsh and aggressive, and you have to be pushing power down into it to get the most benefit. It's also a lot narrower. Let's take a look here. Where's my trusty caliper? All right, let's see. Bang. 78 millimeters wide in the back. So the wider a shoe is, typically the more stable it will be. Yeah, this thing is 87 millimeters wide in the back. And by the way, I just checked my Strava, and it says I only have 48 miles on the Sky Paris. I think there's a few runs in there, and probably a long run that I missed, which would put it closer up to 70. So I'll see if I can go in and cross-check with my YouTube, make sure all the runs are tracked. And it also said the Edge Paris only had 10 miles on it, and I've done multiple 20 milers and a tempo in that, so that thing is past 50 or 60. I just haven't been updating my shoes on Strava. But once we have the Supwell app 2.0 up and running, I'll be having all my mileage up to date in there. Now, the other shoe that I know a lot of people are going to want compared to the Sky Paris, which I feel is the fastest shoe on the market. And by the way, I never finished my thought on the Tokyo. It's going to be a lot softer. The rumor is whatever foam they're using on the next generation of this in the Sky Tokyo is going to be a lot softer than this slightly firmer Piba in the FF Turbo Plus. So they'll be sad if they softened it up and ruined it. I really hope Asics doesn't ruin the Sky Paris because it's a special shoe. What I was going to say was, I know a lot of people want me to test the Fast Star Nitro 3. Here's the thing. I buy all of these shoes to test, so I can't get them until you get them. And I appreciate that everyone asks me to test right away because you're excited and you want to hear my take on it. But I can't get it until it's for sale. So it just went for sale Friday. We should have it soon to test on the channel. But it's one of those things, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want to hear the independent insights and you like that I buy most of my shoes myself, then I'm not going to be able to get them as soon as everybody else who gets it directly from the brand. That's just the reality. Unless I hack into the supply chain in some way, find a way to get it off the boat from China. I have no idea. But yeah, it's funny because Puma, this is what these brands are doing now. They want to email me. Puma emailed me, but they didn't send it to me, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm totally fine to buy the shoes myself. But New Balance did the same thing too. They emailed me when we posted the SC Elite V5 on Instagram talking about the leaks. They emailed me and said, this is under strict embargo. Strict embargo who? I don't have to follow the embargo. We're a media outlet. We're reporting on the information that's out there. So that's the approach we're taking right now at Supwell. This is a media outlet for the people. But yeah, that shoe should be coming out this week. I know New Balance sent it to all the people who they flew out to London. So I'm sure your feed is going to be packed with the SC Elite V5 stuff this week. So hopefully whenever that goes for sale, New Balance actually had the embargo date in that email. I'm not going to share it though because they said it's private. But yeah, I'll be testing that as well. But for now, Sky Paris, this is the fastest shoe on the market until the Fast R3 comes along and changes everything as it's allegedly supposed to do. But all right, let's go get some mileage.
Haven't even shown my face yet today. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Because all they want to see are my takes. If the takes are out, then they're happy. Alright, here's the clothes for this morning. I'm going OG Hoppy Jugger hat. Sore socks. This is an Asics singlet that I got from Running Warehouse. When I went to that Running Warehouse thing last summer, they gave this thing to me. It's pretty solid. I was going to wear the Soar singlet this morning, but it was torn up. I was super sad. So I was looking at it last night, and apparently you're not allowed. Charlie was reading the care instructions, all those icons. I don't know, it's not on here, but it has the dryer icon and the iron icon, and you're not supposed to put the Soar singlet in the dryer. And you can still wear it, but it has all these threads coming loose now. So I'm bummed about that because, they sent it to me, but that's still a nice piece of gear. It's expensive. I don't like wrecking expensive gear. So I'm going Asics this morning. I'm going to save that Soar for the special days and then testing these shorts. I think I've worn them once. They are short. These things are short, but we're heading into those spring, summer months. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to be out here in the 3 inches this morning, prancing, gallivanting, galloping around Min Hill. Looking like a ballerina or something. I guess ballerinas don't have their thighs out. What type of athletes have their thighs out? I guess I can call myself Wilt. These are the OGs, like the Larry Bird shorts. And then nutrition. I'm going Morton this morning. No fun today. That's the thing about the Sky Paris and the Edge Paris. They're not that fun. So I'm going to have to go Morton whenever I run in the Metaspeed shoes. Alright, I'll make a change and then we can do this.
And the reality is, the majority of people, the vast majority of people, don't care where the shoes come from. I'm not saying that in a cynical way, it's just the reality. Before someone clicks on a video of a new shoe, they don't care if the brand sent it to them or if someone bought it. And for the most part, it's not going to influence the review where somebody got a shoe. For the good reviewers, at least, and the ones who give good analysis, which I'm not even going to go there, but a lot of the top channels do give some good insights. But all most people care about is the dopamine rush of seeing a new shoe. So we miss out on that. There's no dopamine for the Puma Fast R3 before people have, and by the time we get it, people have gonna have already seen 7 reviews on it. But that's the path I'm taking. For me personally, and I've said this before, this is not a knock on anybody else's business and the way they decide to do things, but for me personally, I prefer to not have close relationships with the brands so that I can give the best analysis and give you the best takes without having in the back of my mind, oh, Sarah from XYZ PR, especially for the big brands. I don't know, man. So here we are in the Sky Paris, a year-old shoe. I know you want to see the Fast R3. It's coming soon. This thing fits snugger. It's actually, I'm telling you, it's just gotten more comfortable with the more miles I've put on it. But it is a very aggressive shoe. All right, let's get out of here.
Man, my fit is truly horrible right now. I'm glad nobody can see it in the dark. Putting my water here so I don't have to carry it. Same mileage, just a different day. Mafia. Oh, these are as slammed as slam can get. First mile repeat down. We're 6 miles in here. Hit that one at 5:21 pace. So I'm gonna take 2 mile jog recoveries between these and then go again. Goal is to hit these reps hard. Mile rep 2, 5:12. Ballin'. Mile rep 3, 5:10, baby. This is real work. Only AI I know is aerobically ignorant. You know that line on Lord Knows, Drake and Rick Ross? Rick Ross is actually saying, only fat brother in the sauna with shoes. He didn't want to take his Max Cushion gang shoes off. A lot of people misheard that line. With shoes. He didn't want to take the shoes off because he was so comfortable, even in the sauna. It's crazy. Rep 4, 5:12. Barefoot Mafia sighting. Of course they're running. Running scared. Ah, 5:05. We're going up again, baby. Sticking to the plan. Mileage. Consistent mustard. A lot of boom, bada bang. Ripping off mile repeats at 5 flat. This is the payoff for that horrible winter of running. We up. And let me tell you something, this is the Supwell difference. This is the high mileage difference here, because we're 2 hours in, 2 hours, 7 minutes, 18 and a half miles. And I'm still throwing down 5K pace. That's the benefit of the high mileage. It pays off. Recovery's quicker. You can hammer for longer. And that's how we convert the strength and power into speed. There's a lot of strong runners out there and powerful runners. But the way to get fast, you got to increase that mileage. I always forget to talk about the gear when we get up there. So gear review, other than the shoes. Asics singlet, I don't know what this is called. I think it's, the fabric is called Actabreeze or something similar to that. Fire. I really like this thing. Right up there with the Soar stuff. And it also has a bunch of holes, kind of like that gimmicky Moth Tech, but it's not a gimmick at all. The sweat is not sticking to me. Some of the other ones, like the CLA and even the Soar, I felt they stuck to me more. This does not. But I also didn't sweat that much because it's probably high 60s American right now. But Asics singlet, thumbs up. CLA shorts. The actual shorts were good, but I didn't run with my bottle today. I haven't been running with my bottle on the long runs. I just feel like it's been weighing me down, especially because I carry the GoPro already. And the pocket situation in these, so there's no zipper pockets, but they're gel pockets inside in the back. And it's not easy to access the gels. So if you run and we're gonna do a marathon or something and put your gels in your shorts, I would not recommend these. That's a big downside for a marathon short. It sounds like not a big deal, but if you have to be fumbling around, I was really fighting back there. I prefer just a zipper pocket. It's cleaner. But the actual performance of them are good. They're lightweight. Again, not sticking to me. And then I have the Soar socks on today, and these are good as well. And of course, hobby jugger hat. Without this, I would have been running 525s instead of 505s on my mile repeats. Oh, and then the watch. That's actually one of the downsides here, where I found one of the limitations. Super laggy with these faster paces. It took about half a mile every time for it to give me an accurate reading. So at these faster, shorter reps, it's really limiting. And I like training by feel, but I don't quite know the feel of these faster paces yet. So it turns out, or it turns into me just running as hard as possible so I'm not going too slow. So I might pick up one of those pods to fix that. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna go around. Bang! Another long run in the books. I came back here and we were at 20.5, so I decided to just loop around again to get an extra half. So we got 21 miles, just about 7 flat, 7:03 pace, 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 5 seconds. Man, I really look like Pippi Longstockings today in these socks. Something about the color of these socks, you can just tell they're British. Shout out to Soar, putting in work though. Yeah, man, let this workout, if you've been following along for the past few days, the past week, let this workout be the exclamation point on everything that I've been saying about polarized training. We run hard for a very limited number of our miles. We run as hard as we can. And for a lot of miles, we get that volume up relaxed. Yesterday, I had the bob. I had the stroller out, and I was throwing down 9 minutes, 9-minute pace with the stroller. My watch said it was a 9:11 pace. My tracking app after said it was an 8:48 pace. Regardless, a lot of relaxed recovery miles. And since my workout on Wednesday in the Streak Fly, where I was doing 3x1 miles at a 5, I think I hit those 508, 506, 501. I barely hit a 7-minute mile after that. Thursday,
Or Wednesday afternoon, recovery. Thursday, 16 miles of recovery. Friday, another 14 miles of recovery. Yesterday, 6 miles of recovery. All of those runs were at about an 8 flat pace, or even slower, 8:30 pace in some cases. And then this morning, when it counts, I was able to hit my 5-mile repeats. In my head, I wanted to hit those at 5:20. And that was the same thing in the streak fly, but because I've been consistent with the workouts and setting up my training so that I can recover and come out here and blast hard, I was able to hit those at 5:21. Let's check the splits actually. Let's see what we got here. These were the strides at the beginning. All right, 5:21, 5:13, 5:11, 5:13, 5:06. So really solid this morning. Average about 5:13 for those reps. And consistent mileage, polarized training, and strategic blasting. That's how we do it. R.I.P. Francis. Read this later. Alright man, Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. I've got a lot of good workouts in this thing. Like I was saying earlier, people just like me for my takes and my bits. So a lot of the times I bring the bits out for the boys and I bring the takes out like I'm Stephen A. Stack. But some days I just want to put on a reliable pair of shoes and run hard and get a good workout in. Like this morning, let's throw it up. Really good workout, 5:21 pace on the first rep. And then we were down in the 5 teens, then blasted a 5:05 on the last mile. So goal of this workout today was to get some faster running in. I've been talking about this a lot. Marathon pace and threshold pace, that style of training, the higher volume tempos, just slamming that zone 3, low zone 4 type of running just has not been working for me. And this is the thing about being self-coached, or about being an athlete in general with an interest in your development, regardless of whether you have a coach or not. When the type of training that you're accustomed to, that you've done for a long time or even a short time, that you've been consistent with, or any training, if a type of training is not working, we pivot. Is not a failure. Matter of fact, it's a success. When something stops working, that means you've successfully done it. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're not going to get better. So it's not a failure, and it's not quitting. It's pivoting. Some of the most successful companies in the world are only successful because they pivoted. You pivot your business model if it's not working out. And the other way to think about it is, think about if you have a marketing budget, right? Say you have $100 to spend on marketing, and you're spending $50 on Facebook, and you're spending $50 on going out, paying someone to hand out pamphlets in the street. And if you find out that you're paying the $50 to hand out pamphlets in the street, and that's what's driving you customers, and the Facebook is not driving you any customers, would you continue to spend the $50 a month on the Facebook? No, you would not. And you would not say it's a failure. You'd say, oh, this pamphlet handout in-person strategy is working. Let me hire more people to do that. Let me put the $50 over there. That's the same exact thing with the running. If we find out that one style of training isn't working, or one pace range just is not feeling good, or our long runs are just feeling miserable, we switch it up. And that's the purpose of having a plan, is to have the structure in place. In 95% of the training plans out there, you can be successful with, but you have to understand how to adapt them to your own training. When you're starting out, man, following anything that just has the basic structure is going to be great, but the areas where we can really get those marginal gains, not even marginal, but where we can get excess gains and start developing more as a runner, is our own weekly mileage. What days do I do these workouts? When do I
move things around? When should I stop running a certain style of workout? And that's the fun part for me. And it's the extremely challenging part, but I wouldn't be doing this if it were just easy, if it were predictable. The unpredictability of it and the fact that I have to use my brain to organize the puzzle pieces and put together a plan that works, that's the exciting part. And that's the part that keeps me going with this and makes me love the training. So yeah, and it's not just about my training. I'm getting more into doing the training for you all with the community challenge, and we're gonna have some more stuff coming soon. That's not the point. The point is these mile repeats and running these faster paces, sub 525, sub threshold paces, for me, that's where I'm seeing the success right now. That's also where I'm seeing the most potential for development for me as a runner. I've run so many miles out of 540, 550 and 6 flat, and it's just plateauing. They're stalling out right there. But I have lower hanging fruit at these faster paces. I have way fewer lifetime miles at 530, 520, 515. So that's what I've been focusing on. I got the streak fly workout on Wednesday. That was awesome. Very similar paces. And then today, doing it with the long run. The other thing is, with this long run, man, I've been struggling for the past, basically ever since Chicago, I've been struggling with what is the purpose of my long run, because I've been doing different styles of training and I've been trying to do 2 workouts during the week and then the long run. What's actually been successful is when I do my second workout as the long run. That was what was most successful during the Chicago Marathon training block. So I think I should go back to that. I also really believe that for most hobby joggers out there, 2 quality workouts a week is gonna be enough. It's just gosh dang hard with busy work schedule, busy life, having kids, just the stress of everything. If you have a busy job, getting 3 workouts per week, it's just another thing on the plate. And for me, if I have a workout the next day, it's like I can't hang out with Charlie the night before. I have to get certain sleep. I'm stressed out to want to optimize performance. And then the long run, I'm always stressed out. It's not stressed out, but I always focus on getting a good night's sleep and prioritizing the long run. So if I can combine one of my workouts with the long run, that's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And it's more bang for the buck, because like I was saying out there on mile 18, I was able to throw down a 5:05 2 hours into the run, which means if I'm racing a 5K or a 10K, that kick is going to be there because the aerobic engine is so strong. I was actually seeing a 440 something or a 450 something on that last surge when I was trying to go all out on that last mile. So that's the training. The third thing I was going to say on the training was today I was also, what the heck? That was super weird. Yeah, today I was also cherry picking flat. Now I know we have the Run Some Dang Hills community challenge and it's gonna be all about getting as much elevation as possible. And I still got over, let's see the actual figure. I think it was over 900 feet today. So I get a ton of elevation no matter what. Let's see the actual thing here. Elevation gain 889. So just about 900 feet of elevation gain. But on the faster miles, I was not going uphill. I was cherry picking the flat. It's basically you can either go up or you could go flat and slightly down. So I said, I'm gonna do the flats and slightly downs. I don't want to be fighting the hills today. I just want to run fast. I want to open up my stride. I want to get those legs popping off the ground, and doing it uphill, that will build strength, but it's not the same type of speed that I wanted to hit today. I wanted to feel fast, and I wanted to be able to tear into the roads and dig and hit that 5K pace and see those splits on the watch. So some days I decide, okay, I'm gonna just run hard, hit the hills, especially on the tempos. Those are strength building workouts. But there's also speed workouts where I wanna feel fast. I wanna see the fast splits. I wanna build the confidence at those faster paces. So I decided to do flat. Same thing with the more track style workouts. That's why I went to the Greenway on Wednesday, and I'm likely gonna continue either going to the Greenways or up to Harrisburg, which has that 800 meter rectangle, very flat. Probably my favorite place to run in Charlotte too. It's a Karen-free zone. No one looks at me weird up there, so it's just a beautiful place. I'm going to continue doing flat for these faster workouts, and then for the strength building workouts, which is everything that we're doing in the Hills Community Challenge, I'm going to be getting a lot of elevation gain. So the thing is, no matter what I do, I get 4,000 feet of elevation gain. per week. So for the 8 miles a week where I'm doing faster running, it's okay to be doing that on the flat sometimes, because you got to think about what the purposes of the workout are. Is it speed? Is it power? Is it strength? Is it endurance? And then we choose the terrain and the shoe based on that. So performance of the shoe today, Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris. This is one of my favorite race shoes. This is a top 3 race shoe for me. It's really Alphafly, Deviate Nitro Elite 3, and this. And the funny thing is, with all those shoes, I didn't love them right out of the box or for the first 20 to 30 miles or so. And with this, I actually did love it right out of the box. I got a really fast workout in it, and then about a year ago, I used it for the marathon. What was it? The Coast Guard Marathon, 2:49. But then in that race, I did not have a good race. It felt too aggressive. The stability wasn't there. My toes were banging up against the front of this. And trigger warning, by the way, I actually just had to take off my big toenail from that race. It took a whole year for it to it was disgusting. Everything's good. We got the other toenail back, but the toe box was small. It crushed my foot. It felt really narrow. And you can even see back here, I have torn up this back from my relaxed miles striking here. Anytime I'm running more relaxed, I'm landing flat and I'm digging on the back. And then when I'm running fast, when I'm hitting these 5-10 splits, I'm landing more midfoot, popping off the front. But yeah, this thing is so reliable for these fast paces, and very similar to the Streakfly 2, there is nothing extra on it. That's why it's so narrow. And you saw when we did the stack rater up there, this is one of the lowest stack marathon shoes out there. 34, 35 in the back. It's not max cushion gain, but it is super lightweight. It's below 200 grams in my size. The Alphafly, for context, is 220 grams, so it's 10% lighter, and it's just so easy to turn over the legs. That is the biggest difference with the lightweight shoes. It's 2% easier for me to open up the stride, even versus the Alphafly. That can feel like a lot of cushion and a lot of shoe on foot sometimes. This one does not. It feels very streamlined, and I can drive as much power as I need to up the front here. Now today, the fit of the upper actually was not bad. I was not fighting it at all. I didn't feel any crunching against the front here, and I actually didn't feel that it was too bad at my relaxed miles. So this is one of those shoes that I've learned to work with. But I think I'm also developing stronger ankles or something, because the last 3 workouts I've done, which have all been great, by the way, were OG Prime X Strong, Nike Streakfly 2, and then this. I've had 3 good workouts in a row. I was saying for a while there I was only getting 1 good workout every 6 weeks, so we'd reverse that. But maybe my next workout's going to be terrible. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't feeling too much of an issue with the narrowness here. Because it's a firmer foam, it's not like that Adios foam or that Saucony Elite 2 foam. The stability is not bad. So I was really confident here on the corners, and this neighborhood is very twisty and turny, and there was no issue at all with this. So this is one of the few shoes that I feel 100% confident in running fast. There's this Saucony Endorphin Elite, Alphafly, Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3, On Cloud Boom Strike, Nike Streakfly 2. I really don't know if there's any other shoes. It might just be those 6 shoes are the ones that I feel confident running fast in. Even the On Cloud Boom Strike, that's on the line, but that's just about the softest I would go. Everything else on the market, I can run fast in it, and you can run fast in anything. And here's the thing, something like the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. Somebody said to me, oh, that did pretty well at the 5th Avenue Mile or the Miami Marathon. Of course, the shoe didn't do well. The athletes that Hoka signed, who've been training their entire lives, who put the investment of their soul, who are running for their livelihood and to make their communities proud. Those are the people who did well. They would have run a fast mile in a pair of Converse or the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. So it just missed me with that line of thinking. It's just absolutely asinine. There are only a handful of shoes that I feel confident running. Hoka Rocket X2, I should have put it in there as well. So 7 shoes out of the 140 that I've tested are really the only ones that, for a workout like today, if I want to feel fast and see those fast splits, those are the shoes I'm going to pull. Now, again, You can be fast or you can feel fast. Today I want to be fast and feel fast, but one of the things that we should do to be fast is run a variety of shoes and not always make it so easy. Sometimes running in a more cushioned supportive shoe that's gonna be 10 seconds per mile slower, like the Alphafly, right? That's easier on the legs than this. That doesn't force me to work as hard and dig as deep and pop off the calves as much as this, which will build strength in a different way. But that is a more comfortable shoe. That's a more cushioned shoe. That's a more protective shoe. But there are some days where I just want to see a fast split and I want to have that confidence, and this is one of those shoes to do it. Might be the fastest shoe on the market. I really need to do that head-to-head with the Nike Streakfly 2. I'm of course super excited to see the Puma Fast R3. I hope people watch when I get the video, because I did pay $321 for that shoe, including tax, but maybe your dopamine is all gone because you've watched 7 videos on that shoe already. So Sky Paris, still a banger, came out a year ago, so I don't know if anyone cares about it, but some days I just need to train, because that's what I do. I'm a hobby jogger. It's not just about the shoes. All right, I'll be back. Oh gosh, been dropping shoes a lot recently. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.